Stanford and the Silicon Valley Skrewts today. Stanford is hosting this tournament now. They're looking pretty good. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. What? What? I cannot film with the sun. Alright, fine. Jeez, nice to meet you. Yeah, I didn't meet this side of you. That one's a real bitch today. Yeah, and I was set up there. Stop. So I was having a conversation with the camera person of the Silicon Valley Skrewts. She asked me to move off to the left side. Silicon Valley Skrewts are set up off to the right side over here. Stanford is off to the left. It's going to be a good match over here. We got some striped socks over on Stanford's side. They got their headgear. Calls for the ref. Call is being made. Set up the camera here, waiting for the call. All right, we have a brooms up call on this one. Stanford has control of the ball. They're making a fast break on this one. Oh, but he gets that ball into the near hoop. That is like the 30 seconds of the first play. Stanford makes that ball. That is 10-0 in favor of Stanford. Silicon Valley Skrewts are making a change on their keeper. Oh yes, I know that guy. Can't remember his name. Pass to the backfield. Trying to make a ball through the hoops from the backfield, but it just trickles out to the Silicon Valley Skrewts chaser, who's standing up top. Goes in for the Skrewts. Andrew, that is his name. Andrew, number 35 of the Skrewts, scores the ball, and it is now 10-10 in favor, even for both sides. Stanford is moving up the field, center now, being guarded by number 4 of the Stanford beaters. Oh, it was blocked by the Skrewts. Skrewts are making a fast break on this one, but he's got a beater to beat. Ball is passed back to Andrew of the Skrewts. They're resetting this play as the chaser who passed it back got beat and has to tag up, moving up the field now. Oh, this is Spikes. Mission Blues. Stanford controlled this ball. Stanford is moving up through the center. The keeper is still in his backfield, being shadowed by number 7 of the Stanford, but he's just moving up alone. Pass to the backfield. Number 17 of the Skrewts knocks the ball and retains control. Andrew comes over, talks to his player, trying to extricate the ball. Does so as the beater beats the Stanford player. Stanford player has to run back to the hoops and tag up. Andrew is moving this ball up slowly, but he's got some pace. He's going to be running up to the midfield. He's got number 17 over his left side. They are pressing this offensive push. Ball trickles out to the Stanford keeper as they start making an offensive push. He is moving up. He's got Chewy to beat. Chewy brings him down, and he gets beat as the ball trickles out. Stanford picks up the ball, but the beater just got him. Oh, and we have a stoppage of play. That means that brooms down on all players, marking their positions as the head ref restarts the play. Skrewts retain the possession of the ball. Not Andrew slowly bringing it up here. That was a good tackle by Chewy, bringing down the Stanford keeper as he tried to make a run up the left side. Still, the score is 10-10. Silicon Valley Skrewts against Stanford Quidditch. Pass to the backfield to number 51 of the Skrewts. He's got a beater, chaser, 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 and beater to beat, but it is past the Chewy up top. He's making a run. He's got to get through some people. He lobs it over to the top. They're just passing this ball back and forth to each other. Andrew is going to go back and pick this up, number 35 of the Skrewts. That was a good defensive play by Stanford, causing the Skrewts to pass from the backfield to up top, and then again to the backfield and up top to reset this play. Andrew is coming up the midfield now. He's got a beater to block his play as he shadows him. Stanford is trying to show some offensive push. He pushes it. He lobs a throw right to the backfield. We have a stoppage of play. We don't know whether that ball actually went in. It kind of looked like it did, but we just have to get a call on this one. It was a good goal by Andrew, scoring that ball from the midfield. Great lob. And with that, the score is now 20-10 in favor of the Silicon Valley Skrewts. Stanford is going to reset this play. Keeper has the ball. Stanford has only one beater to protect him. Oh, actually, they have full control of the bludgers. Stanford passes off to the left side, moving up to the center, passing it to the backfield, finds Infinity in the backfield, and she scores through the center hoop. That is a great backdoor pass for Stanford. That score is now 20-20, Silicon Valley Skrewts and Stanford Quidditch. Ball is being passed to the right side, but is picked up by Stanford Chaser, wrapped up by Chewy, causing them to reset the ball and being passed to the Stanford keeper, who's moving up through the center. Stanford and Silicon Valley Skrewts really showing their offensive and defensive roles on this one. Neither one breaking away with some high pointage. Silicon Valley Skrewts pick up that ball, that errant pass to the left side for the Stanford Chaser. Beaters are just tossing these balls all around here, as well as the Quaffle is. Chewy has the ball for the Skrewts, being harassed by number 15 of the Stanford Chaser. Don't know his name, sorry. Now we have Stanford Pie being harassed by the beater, but just blocks that shot. Past the backfield for the Silicon Valley Skrewts, but it was an errant throw. But the ball trickles out for Andrew in the backfield of his own hoops, and he picks up the ball and is now going to reset this play. He's running from the backfield. Looks like he wants to bring a lot of speed on this one. He's still got a person in the backfield who's going to shoot for that one. He gets beat. Number 51 tried to make another shot for that from the backfield. Did not go in. Now number 1 for Stanford is bringing the ball up, heading towards the left side of the field. Oh, we have Tails trying to grab that ball from the other beater. 15 in the backfield for Stanford getting wrapped up. The ball is being tossed around, but it is picked up by Andrew of the Skrewts. And now the Skrewts will reset this play. Again, score is 20-20. You're welcome. Again, that comes from Lauren, right here. Yes, right here. There we go. She doesn't want to be on camera, but she is here. She is here. Andrew is being harassed by number 15 of this of the Stanford team. That was a good play. Now, number 25, cannot remember his name. Skrewts have control of this ball in the backfield, but it was a hard boundary. Now the ball goes to Stanford. Remember, if the ball goes too far behind the hoops, it is a hard boundary and turnover to the other team. You're welcome. Stanford has the ball, moving it up the midfield, passes it off to the left side. Passing it to his, but it just comes into the hands, right center hoops of the Skrewts, who are making an offensive push. He's only got one outside to the left, number 49, who's making his run. Skrewts captain from the sideline telling his players to hold up and wait for an offensive push. Andrew has the ball right in front of the hoops. He's trying to make a play. It just goes too far for number 49 through his hands, and now it is a hard boundary back to the Stanford Quidditch team. Stanford allowed them to get up close to those hoops. Their passes are trying to be going to that back door all the time for the Skrewts, but they are really showing great defensive form against the Silicon Valley Skrewts. Ah, they got the ball for the Silicon Valley Skrewts. He's got a beater to beat. We're wondering about that play. Did it get off before the ball hit him? The crowd is saying that maybe he got the ball off before, and that is a good goal. But we have to hear from the ref. She's going to consult with her beater refs and goal refs at the same time. But that was a good throw by the Stanford beater. She got him right in the legs. But we just need to know if it was before the ball released from his hands or if it did not. Remember, as the play stops, everyone has to drop their brooms where they had done. Oh, it is a call on the field. No good for the goal. She got him before he released the ball. Good play by Haley of Stanford. Great play. Nice beating on that one. She gives a little wave to the camera. The balls all have to return to where they fell. So Andrew is going to have to go back to his hoops because he got beat. The quaffle is going to be in the backfield, so it's a hard boundary. Stanford picks up the ball. Stanford being told to hold up, cause an offensive form, talking to each other. Oh, that was a nice offensive tip, picked up by the Stanford player. It was a kick by the Stanford player, but Andrew has enough gas in his tank to make a run. He gets wrapped up. He's tossing it to the outside, number 49. He's got a beater to beat. He's trying to lob it to his friend. It comes to the far post. He picks it up, and he has enough strength to score on that one. Good play by Silicon Valley Skrewts, number 51, scoring to the far side as he catches that ball. Only 13 minutes has passed in this recording, but I think we have to take off a minute for that convening of the refs. Beaters and chasers all having a fight over near just a tussle to get the ball near the Silicon Valley Skrewts bench. But Silicon Valley Skrewts retain possession of this ball, handing it off to Andrew in the backfield as Silicon Valley Skrewts try and cause an offensive form against Stanford's defense. Stanford brings on a few more fresh legs. I think they bring on a few more beater legs and chasers for this. Good defensive form on this one. Beater is shadowing his keeper. Keeper of Silicon Valley Skrewts is getting really close to this one. Knocks the ball out of his hands. Number 13 is making a run in the backfield. Has enough time and just scores off of that one. Score is now 30-30. Wow. Low-scoring game. Stanford is showing a lot of strength in this one. Silicon Valley Skrewts bringing it up the field again. Andrew being shadowed by his beater. Another beater out of frame coming back into play. Silicon Valley Skrewts have bludger control. Stanford beater is having a tussle with her rival for that bludger ball. Stanford has control in the backfield against Silicon Valley Skrewts, but it's enough to knock the Stanford player off of his broom, and Silicon Valley Skrewts have control of this ball. Skrewts are moving upfield, passing it off to Chewy off to the right side. He is being dogged by Pie on Stanford side. Pie is still dogging him. Comes in for the tackle, pressing him, but he gets beat. Chewy for Skrewts is moving upfield. He's got no one in front of him, but he's trying to find an opening to pass. Pie is still blocking him, passing it out to the outside, but that is a good defensive play for the Stanford Infinity player. She's moving it up past the halfway line, passing it off to her keeper. Keeper's trying to find a hole on this one. He gets beat though. Stanford Infinity is getting wrapped up by the keeper of the Skrewts, but is picked up by Pie. He's getting harassed by Chewy, but passes off to number 13. Silicon Valley Skrewts blocks that shot and then is picked up by the keeper of the Silicon Valley Skrewts to reset the play and start an offensive push. That was a great offensive push by Stanford when they attacked those hoops. They had a lot of options to shoot from, it's just they couldn't find an opening. That was a nice defensive play by the keeper on Stanford, number 1, who then collects the ball. He thought the play was stopped, but it wasn't a whistle, so he picks up his broom and resumes the play. Score is still, again, 30-30. Even match. This might actually come down to a snitch grab if it continues like this. Game time, I think. Oh, we're approaching in about 1 minute the snitch floor when he is released at 17 minutes. But I think it is another minute until that happens. Number 42 for the Skrewts has control of this ball. He is being shadowed by the beater. They're moving it up past midway. Passing outside to Chewy, being picked up by Pie of Stanford, finding an opening, passing to the backfield, and the Skrewts now that is a warning to the Stanford side. They knocked down the hoops as they were trying to prevent the Silicon Valley Skrewts chaser from scoring. So she's just warning them now. It may not have been intentional, but it just was an impact of the shoulder to the hoop that knocked it down. That might have prevented him from scoring it. It's a stoppage of play again. Everyone's broom is on the ground. She is remounting. Play resumes. I think in about another 30 seconds, we're going to be having the snitch being released. Again, after that, another minute is then added onto another minute before the Seekers can then pursue them. They scored on that last play, which means is that the score is 40-30 in favor of the Silicon Valley Skrewts. Still within snitch range, meaning that the snitch, if grabbed, will be 30 points to the team that grabs it. Silicon Valley Skrewts are making an offensive push on this one. Keeper is running for this one. Has an opening. Gets wrapped up by the Stanford player, but brushes him off and still has enough strength to score. That is 50-30 in favor of the Silicon Valley Skrewts. Great counterattack by the Skrewts on that one. Stanford is moving the ball up the field. Emily? Joe? That's Joe, right? Joe has the ball. He's being wrapped up by Chewy in the backfield. Stanford kicks the ball, but it falls to the Skrewts player, Chewy, who then knocks it down for his keeper. Keeper is making a run up the midfield. He might be, oh no, he's slowing down. Being told by his captain to hold his time. Maybe in the next minute the snitch will be released. We have to have a game time on this one. Joe was in the backfield harassing Chewy with the ball, trying to get it and stop an offensive push. Chewy is being guarded by his beater. She is just beating the Stanford chasers that are matching up with Chewy. Chewy has moved past the halfway line. The ball falls out because Joe had knocked it out of his hands. Chewy gets beat, collected by Joe on Stanford's side, giving it off to his keeper. And now it is an offensive push for Stanford, moving up to the halfway line. Falling for the Stanford player, it is picked up by Andrew of the Silicon Valley Skrewts, possessing the ball as Silicon Valley Skrewts pass in the backfield, trying to cause an offensive push against the Stanford defense. Chewy moves up the field, again being shadowed by his beater. She is beating any chaser that harasses Chewy. Chewy gets wrapped up by the Stanford chaser, but has enough to pass it off to his chaser in the backfield. He has enough strength to jump and then bomb that ball through the hoop. Score is now 60-30 in favor of Silicon Valley Skrewts. Skrewts are pulling away now, almost coming out of snitch range, but again, 30 points is awarded to the team that grabs the snitch. A shot from the outside, again falls for Andrew of the Silicon Valley Skrewts. He collects the ball, moves past the halfway line up the left side, but then gets beat by the Stanford beater. Ball then gets trickled out for the Silicon Valley Skrewts chaser and then is collected by Chewy in the backfield at the halfway line. And is a reset of play for the Skrewts. Stanford and Skrewts are showing a lot of muscle in this. They have been running this ball back and forth this whole time. Their legs might be tired, but we'll just have to see how this ends. Again, the game will not end until the snitch ball is grabbed from the shorts of Matthew. He is now on the field, being shadowed by the snitch ref. Collected by Chewy off to the right side. It is again another attack, offensive push by the Silicon Valley Skrewts against Stanford. But Stanford did show great poise in that defense against the Skrewts attack by Andrew. The Seekers have been released. They're going to be going against this guy. Oh! It is a grab by by Stanford. If that is a clean grab by Stanford, that means that 30 points will be awarded to them. The score will be 60-60, and then they will have to go into overtime to decide this match. No, wait, no, yes? It's 60-60, right? So the Stanford Seeker caught the ball from Matthew, the snitch. Score is now 60-60. There will be... Hey! So now there's just a stoppage of play for 5 minutes, and then they will resume playing to decide this match. It's overtime, ladies and gentlemen. We will reset the ball and be back to you from Wilbert Field at Stanford to decide this match. And here's Lauren walking into frame. It's a 5-minute break and then they resume play to decide it. All right, we will be back to you from Wilbert Field in Stanford to decide this match. Again, my name is Benjamin Boles, commentating for Spike of the Mission Blues, who runs his camera. All right, see you soon. All right, we are resetting this play now. Silicon Valley Skrewts will be on the left side now, whereas Stanford will be off to the right. This is the game decider in overtime. 30 seconds before the snitch is going to be on the field once play starts, and it will decide it. We will see how this game goes. Just a reminder, Silicon Valley Skrewts have 6 wins and no losses so far in the standings. This can go anyone's game. This is a high-paced, fast-paced game. Stanford showing a lot of strength. Silicon Valley Skrewts showing a lot of heart as they make those offensive pushes. Balls are reset in the middle of the field. Matthew playing with his snitch ball. Yes, I said it. And we have a pole being thrown off the field and almost impaling somebody. It's all right. We're going to be showing this pretty good. Silicon Valley Skrewts looking pretty good and ready on this one. Stanford looking the same. They want to win this match as much as they do. We are going to see how this one gets decided. It's a stop. Liz, it's a stoppage of play after 5 minutes. If the snitch isn't caught in 5 minutes, then it's a stoppage. Remember, Matt, twerk. Oh, we have a brooms up on this one. Silicon Valley Skrewts versus Stanford. Silicon Valley Skrewts retain possession of this ball. Remember, 30 seconds before the snitch is released. And I think the Seekers are released right after that one. Chewy is being harassed right at the midway line by the Stanford chaser. They are not letting him get any space. It is collected by Andrew of the Skrewts, moving up slowly on the right side, being shadowed by his beater. Seekers are released. Beaters on either side are protecting their snitches, trying to get this. It is a score for the Silicon Valley Skrewts. Score is now 70-60. Wait, we have a stoppage of play. It seems like the ball is falling off the snitch's shorts too easily as he moves around to avoid the Seekers. So I think they're going to have to wrap up his hemline. Not hemline. Yeah, hemline. Waistline. His waistline. There we go. We're going to wrap that up. Make it a little bit more secure for the snitch ball to stay on. And it's a restart of play. Quaffle is held by the Stanford keeper. I'm going to just stay on the snitch because that is 30 points in favor of whoever grabs it. Stanford is trying to grab that ball. But Matthew, the snitch, is just preventing anyone grabbing that ball. Silicon Valley Skrewts Seeker is trying to come up on him. It's another score for the Silicon Valley Skrewts, 80-60 in favor of Silicon Valley Skrewts. Stanford Seeker is still trying to get that ball. Again, if he grabs it, that is 30 points for his team and he ends the match. Stanford is having a big fight here in the backfield for that ball. He's just getting past everybody, passes it off to the right side. Again, being harassed by the chasers. The beaters are just watching each other's seekers, because if that ball is grabbed by Stanford, it's just all over for the Silicon Valley Skrewts. They're just going to be playing against each other. As I said, the beaters are just watching each other's seekers, preventing that ball from being grabbed, trying to tire out each other's seekers. Again, the score is 80-60 in favor of the Silicon Valley Skrewts. We'll have a call here. We'll have to see what happens. It might have been a clean grab, but it looked like the seeker for Silicon Valley Skrewts was off broom when that grab actually happened. But they're going to discuss it right now. Refs are discussing it right now. That's an ending of the game. He did grab a clean grab of that snitch ball. Score is 110-60. Silicon Valley Skrewts win. Good game for both sides. That was well fought. Very well fought. That was a good overtime play. San Jose State is going to be getting ready for their game next as they clear the field. Again, my name is Benjamin Boles. I'm commentating for the Mission Blues. Hope you're having a lot of fun. Lauren is doing a little plie in front, and we're going to be back to you with some good action. Take care now and be awesome.